Good evening and welcome to this week's Strawberry Patch. I'm Carol Long and with me is Tammy Rieger, and she is our second vice president this year at the West Virginia Strawberry Festival, but she wears some other hats. If you're in chamber, you will visit with Tammy, and if you happen to have some goodies that you want to showcase, she works with the Art and Crafts Show. So tell us what's going to happen with the arts and crafts.
We do still have some spots left.
That's good.
But we're getting full, so if you want a spot, act quickly. We've got a lot of new vendors. And
Tell us some of the things that we're going to have.
We've got vendors coming from all over. We've got North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, Ohio. I mean, they're coming from everywhere.
Oh, that's
Pennsylvania. And we've got a little bit of everything, so there should be something for everyone. We've got stuff for the children, bows, tutus, fun stuff. We've even got a vendor coming that does personalized books and can put your child's name or can do a song inside of a stuffed animal.
That's interesting.
We've got, chips and salsa to organic jams and jellies. We've got jewelry, some that are new vendors and some that are returning vendors. Everybody has their favorite that they always go to. And we've got some hand-turned wood items. We've also got lamps made of wood this year.
You usually have aprons and
we've got aprons and fabric products also. Yeah, we've just got a wide variety. I think we're going to have really a good show this year.
Last year, when we were filming down there, there was a gentleman, and he's from another country. I can't remember where, but I bought all my grandkids flutes. There were wooden flutes made out of bamboo, and they had decorative things on them that had certain meanings and symbols. They really liked them, and they were very, very inexpensive.
Yeah.
So
we always have a few things and a few vendors that carry stuff that always the children tend to gravitate towards. We've got a vendor I know that does leather, and my daughter always heads straight there because she can make her own bracelet and stamp her name in the leather.
She makes it right there on site.
She makes it right there on
neat.
site. So there's always favorites.
Well, we know you're going to have one. Tell everybody that's watching where and when and what the hours are.
We're inside of the gymnasium at West Virginia Wesleyan College, and we are there Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Okay. And people can park. There's another parking lot behind, it's close to the Child Development Center, but there's a new gravel lot back there that if folks are visiting the college that maybe they don't know about. But there's some area there that they can park their vehicles and come to the gym.
Right. We actually have two parking locations which are on either side of the gym, so either way that you're coming in, you'll be able to get to parking. We've got the parking lot at the Child Development Center and the gravel lot behind there. Yeah. Then we've also, on the other side of the gym, there's a blacktop parking lot. So
that's behind the dorms. Isn't it? Is that the one you're talking
beside
about?
The chapel.
Beside the chapel.
Yes, when you're coming in by the baseball fields.
Okay.
There's that whole parking lot there that they can park into.
I think that's behind Doney and Fleming and all those, isn't it? Behind them where the tennis courts are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you would go down College Avenue, before you cross the tracks, you would turn right into that. Yes. And I think there's some handicap spots up there.
There are.
So that makes it easier for folks if they're in a wheelchair or whatever and they need to come. So I'm excited about it. I always like to come and see all the things. And the vendors are a lot of fun. And I think they have a good time.
Yeah, and we've got other things there in that location too. We've got the art show going on upstairs, and we've also got the quilt show going on upstairs. So there's more than just one thing to see at that location.
Right. And I talked with the CEO clubs and the Quilters at Heart the other day, and they are going to have some Quilts of Valor again this year.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Oh, it was. And if they haven't promised, but there's a possibility of one being given to a wounded warrior or somebody who has been in they have to be in conflict. I don't necessarily think they have to have been wounded. But it's a really neat thing. And we have some quilters here in Upshur County. I think Teresa Key is one of them that has made quilts and given them to our soldiers who've come back from war.
Yeah.
So that's a really neat project. And we did that in the fall at one of the other events that I attended. And he just wrapped that quilt around him. It was just sort of like a quilt of love.
Yeah.
So that will be an interesting thing to see, and there's an awful lot of pretty quilts and a lot of artwork that we have a lot of talent in Upshur County.
We do.
So we have a lot of things going on. Those 3 things will be pretty much the same hours.
Yeah.
And there is an elevator that you can take if you have a problem with stairs. So if you want to go up to the quilt show on the right or the art show on the left, there's an elevator that will take you there.
Yeah. And I love voting at the quilt show for your favorite quilt. That's always fun.
And don't you give things away? Or
We do. That's what I was going to say. We do. We do a drawing. As you walk in the door, you get a raffle ticket, and as you're walking around, we draw usually about every half an hour, and each one of our vendors gives us a gift, and we give that gift away.
And it can be anybody, and you don't have to pay for it.
No,
Just
free.
come and
Shop
just
and-
shop and look around, and you might want to buy some things, but you also have a chance to go home with something that you win that you don't have to pay for. That's always a
it's
nice
fun.
thing to have. Before we go any further, I want to take this opportunity to thank Tenerton Auto, who is our sponsor for the Strawberry Patch. You'll probably see something go across the bottom of the screen. But Joe Jeffries and his family have an auto shop here in Tenerton. They will do car repair, they do towing, they do inspections. They're a family-owned business, and there are a lot of care put into what they do with your vehicles. So if you do need to talk with them about an inspection, or if you're having problems with your car, you can call them at 472-2174, and that's the Tenerton Auto here in Buchanan, located in Tenerton. So we want to thank them for about 5 years of sponsorship, I think, that they've done with this. So we just want to give them a plug. Now we have some other things coming up prior to the actual week that the festival starts, which is May the 10th through the 18th. Can you share a little bit of information on what we have coming up?
We have the Queen's Ball coming up.
That's on the 26th, right?
The 26th, and that's going to be held at the Moose.
Okay.
And that's always a fun event. Tickets are available now. And I know that you can't get those tickets at the Chamber and Visitor Center. I have those.
Okay. You can also get them at Sears.
At Sears, yes.
And Stone Street, I understand.
Stone Street will be the band that will be performing.
And there's an article in today's Record Delta with a picture of the band. If you have questions about the Queen's Ball and you're just not sure what you need to do, tickets I think are $20 for couple and $12 for singles.
That's right.
And if you want to make a reservation or you want to find out more information, you can always call our festival office at 304-472-9036. The office is not always manned, but somebody does man the telephone, and they will make sure that the person you're calling will get your message and call you back. It may not be within that hour, but sometime that day or usually by the next day. If it's urgent, we'll try to get it back to you sooner than that. But I think the gates open at 8:30 for the Queen's Ball. It's from 9 to midnight. And there's a special thing we're doing this year at the Queen's Ball. We're going to give away our Spirit Award. Can you tell us a little bit about the Spirit Award?
The Spirit Award goes to an individual that really just shows their strawberry spirit. They've participated and given of themselves to the festival, love the festival.
And they don't serve on the board.
They don't serve on the board, right.
And in the past, we have given to other organizations. It doesn't always happen to be an individual, most of the time. But we've done the college. And I tell you, when it comes to helping the festival, I don't think any two organizations help any more than West Virginia Wesleyan with their facilities and the city of Buchanan with their cleanup.
Right.
And both of them are very gracious to allow us to use facilities and to use use the streets and close off the streets. And this year we're going to have Gary Cannell come in and talk about the Midway and about the new food court. I think that's going to be a real plus this year for us. And we also have a car show, car cruise-in.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the first night of the festival. But we also wanted to talk, we talked about the Queen's Ball, and now we need to give a plug to our golf challenge.
Right.
And that's the day after the Queen's Ball on April the 27th. The registration's at 12 noon at Riverbend. They're going to tee off, I think, at 1 o'clock. And it's $200 for a team and $50 for an individual. And they play at the Riverbend Golf Course, and then they go to the country club.
To the country club.
So
yeah.
they finish 9 holes of golf up there and then have dinner. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun for the people who like to play golf.
And I think they've got some great prizes.
Do you know about the prizes? I don't know what they have for prizes.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I heard the committee chairperson talking, and I think they do have some good prizes this year.
Steve Holland has chaired that for a couple of years, and if you need to ask questions about the golf challenge, you can call Riverbend Golf Course, and you can ask them information about it. So we have some things there, and also we want to always give a plug to our sponsors. I know Martin Oil is doing the Queen's Ball. We couldn't do some of these events, folks, if we didn't have businesses, corporations, organizations to help us. We rely on that very heavily. And I understand the Golf Challenge has Race and Auto, Aaron's, Burger King, WBOY, Intermountain, and Fisher Auto Parts. So they've got a nice selection of sponsors.
Yeah.
And when you go to these events, if you see a banner that has a sponsor name on it, if you have a good time, you might just let that sponsor know how much you appreciate what they do. We appreciate them, but sometimes we're so busy we don't have time to go around and talk with them. But I know that we have Strawberry Idol, and I think Natellos has done that one for several years.
I believe so. Yeah.
So if you want to be a sponsor, that's a very important part of the festival, and that's how many of the things are given to you free of charge. We don't have very many prices for tickets. I think there's tickets to the Queen Ball, and some are application fees. Do you have an application fee with your event?
We do. It's $80 for a 10 by 10 spot, and that's with or without electricity.
Okay. And do they have to bring their own tables, or do you set those up?
They bring their own tables and chairs. We provide the space, and of course, since we are allowed to have it at Wesleyan, they do have security, so the doors are locked down and everything's secure. So
That's
it's a
nice
safe
to have that at
environment
night.
for the vendors to
Right.
leave their materials.
That's a very important part of it, because that's their livelihood.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to the Arts and Crafts show, and you always do a good job getting a variety of people in there. But we were talking last week about all the things going on in our community at the same time that we're having the festival, and I think it wouldn't matter what you were having any particular time through the year. Our town's busy.
It is busy.
And we don't have a lot of facilities. When we get the new center out at Brushy Fork, that'll give us more space to do some bigger things. But we have to share the schools, we have to share the streets, we have to share the college, and I think that the prom is going to be at the college this year. So we've had to do some changing around, and we talk about that at every program because we want to get it in the folks' minds of what these changes are. Our opening ceremonies, can you tell us about that, when it is?
Opening ceremonies is actually going to be held at Jawbone Park. And they will
A different day.
Yes, they'll be held on Sunday or
Saturday, the 10th, isn't it?
Saturday the 10th, yes. Yeah, Jawbone Park.
And we will light the flame, and the flame will then be transported to the courthouse.
Courthouse, yes.
We can't use the courthouse because of voting. That's the last day of voting for the following week's election. And there's federal regulations, I think, with that. You have to have a space for people to park to go in the building. So that's one of the changes. And because of the prom, another change is our coronation, and the date has changed on that. So tell folks a little bit about the coronation.
The coronation will be held at Chapel Hill. and it is Saturday also.
At the 10th.
The
At
10th, yes.
7, I believe.
7 p.m.
And there will be a reception in the downstairs Ingle Hall area. So, you'll want to come. It's free to the public. Most of our events, like the opening ceremonies, there's no charge for that. And you get to see the new Queen and King-elect and the teen who has already gotten her crown. And then you get to come to the coronation, and that's really a lot of pageantry. You see the little minor court kids, and those are all from our local schools. There's a boy and a girl from each school that's chosen anonymously. We don't know who they are. We just pull out a name, and that's the person who gets to be in the minor court. And then there are some honorary minor court folks, and those are sometimes children or grandchildren of our board members, because we don't enter the pageants and things like that. So they get a little something special. We have a hostess princess this year. Can you tell us about the hostess princess? Amy Livesey?
Amy Livesey, yes. She is the hostess princess. We also have 2 junior hostess princesses this year.
Okay, do you know their names?
I'm not sure off the top of my
Okay,
head. Yeah.
we'll have it in the paper, or we'll have somebody else talk about it. But we do have a lot of little ones participating, and they have their own parade, and that would be on Thursday, Festival Week. And that parade starts at 6:30, and I think Deborah Hupp is taking applications still. So another place you can find out about the festival is to go onto our website at www.wvstrawberryfestival.com, and then you have certain places that you can plug in and get your applications for the Thursday night parade or the grand feature parade. You can get applications for Strawberry Idol, which is happening Festival Week, and also I'm not familiar, there's another way to get, I think Robbie mentioned that, another source for getting information, and it might come through the chamber office. Is that correct? It's an info.
We have an email set up that's info@wvstrawberryfestival.com.
Okay, you want to repeat that for the folks?
Yes, it's info@wvstrawberryfestival.com. That's the email. That does come in straight to the visitor center, and we can get answers out to.
And sometimes faster.
Faster, yes.
Or if you have a
quick
question and you can't get into our website, maybe you can find out through calling this info.
Yeah.
And
another change that we're going to have is to the horse and carriage parade because of the voting.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new route, and that is posted on the website.
Okay,
Yeah.
and just for those who might be thinking about the horse and carriage parade, because of the election on that Saturday, May the 10th, we will be coming, if you know where Wendy's is, we'll be coming up Wendy's up by the First Community Banks beside VFW, and then we'll make a right onto Main Street. We cannot do anything to prohibit folks parking from the courthouse. So we're making, this is the year, old traditions and new changes, or new beginnings is what, so we've had a lot of new beginnings.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Brad Kellison today, and I'm really looking forward to this horse and carriage parade because we've just got people coming from everywhere this year. And the only thing that would damper that parade would be if it rains, because a lot of the folks have really, really nice carriages, and they will not put them through the rain. But we have Cinderella's carriage coming. We have a really, really old hearse. We have a lot of riders from all over the place. We have 2 ladies that are red hat ladies that are coming all the way from Florida, and they're riding a brand new horse that some of you maybe have never seen. It's a Tanner horse. But we've got Clydesdales, we've got stallions, we've got Arabians, you name it. I asked Brad to make a list, and I will post them all. But there's a really nice collection of horses. So if you come to the horse and carriage parade, you will see a variety of horses that you might not have seen before. And some of them are riding, some are pulling carriages, and we always have a few surprises for that. But there's some really neat things coming for the horse and carriage parade, and it's an hour earlier this year. It'll be at 4 o'clock. And we want people to come. We also that day will be having, I think there's at least 6, I'll talk about it later. I think we have 6 CEO clubs that are going to be selling their arts and foods and different things down Main Street. We also have some open case performers coming. And if you're interested in coming to pick with a buddy, which is maybe a guitar and a fiddle or 2 guitars, or you have a group that you'd like to have perform, we don't pay you, we don't charge you. We do have a sign that'll say if you enjoyed this music, here's a donation, and they get to take that home with them. And some have made nice little sums of money to take home, but this is just a way to give a musical flair and a lot of fun to what's going on. We also have, I think he was here 2 years ago, he signed up to come. This gentleman does all kinds of rope tricks, so he will be a part of that. We have horse and carriage rides. And we're still waiting. We don't have a location yet, but we're waiting to see what we can do with our trick rider. He had a lot of folks that came in last year to watch him. So, we're still working on some things, and that doesn't mean there won't be more changes, but we hope all of our changes have been changed. What else do we need to talk about with Strawberry Festival? We still have some other events. Anything that really strikes your fancy or anything that we need to talk about?
One thing that I would like to ask, if any organizations are going to have parking, it would be nice if they emailed the info@WV Strawberry Festival and let us know. That way we can let people know through social media and on the website that parking is going to be available.
Well, that's a good fundraiser. There's some organizations that have done it before. You need to find the location that you want to set up for parking. Let us know how much it's going to be per carload and where it's located so that we can let the folks know.
Right.
Because we do get phone calls from all over the place. We're coming to Strawberry Festival. Where can we park?
Right.
Where can we eat? Where can we stay? Those kinds of questions. So we try to do the best we can. And then we have people that come in and they are confused and they don't know where to go for anything. We try to have signs. We will try to do that, especially with our new Midway and with our new food court. Although it's in the same location it was last year, this year there's going to be a huge covered stage with entertainment on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There will be some groups entertaining on Main Street as well for the Party Gras. Strawberry Idol is something that's coming up on Thursday night festival week. You'll have the gospel competition. On Friday night is open class, and then those two are at 8:30 at the Courthouse Plaza, and you can get your applications again off the website that we gave you, www.wvstrawberryfestival.com, and pull the application off. If you have questions, call the festival office, 472-9036. Info again,
info@wvstrawberryfestival.com.
Okay, so those are some things. Now on Saturday evening, the finals for the Strawberry Idol will be held at the courthouse, but the time has changed. It will be 7 p.m. And this is open to the public. Anybody can come, bring a lawn chair. You probably want something to sit in if you're going to be there each of those evenings. But you want to bring a lawn chair, come, bring you something nice, cold to drink. Just sit back and listen to some really good entertainment, because we do have a lot of talented folks that participate in all 3 days. Again, Wednesday night is our... it's a new event, but we've had the classic cars come and do a cruise in.
Yeah.
But they used to do it where Taco Bell is now. So we're doing it on Main Street, and I think that's going to be a nice thing for Main Street, to have all the folks there with their cars, and then wander on down to the carnival and wander on down to the food court. Just about everything we have for festival is within walking distance.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons we've gotten some of the bands that we've had in the past, because they can park at the college, they can stay at the college, they can eat at the college or downtown. They come and just walk everywhere and have a good time. And usually it's pretty safe for them to do that.
Yeah.
So the carnival, Gamble's is coming back. They're not starting, though, till Monday night, right?
Monday
At 6
night, I believe
o'clock?
so, yes.
And tell them again what your times are.
The craft show will be Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
in the gymnasium at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
Okay.
And we'll have signs out to direct you into it.
That's good
Yeah.
because people get over to the college, and if you've never been here before, it's easy to get confused as to where you're supposed to go. There's some other things going on at Wesleyan. On Friday, we'll have the orchestra competition. That's at Wesley Chapel, and that's open to the public if you want to come and listen to the various orchestra. They're usually school orchestras that come in and they compete. We also have band competition at the Performing Arts Center. And I just found out that the Fred Brooks Garden Club is going to be having a flower show there in the outside of the Performing Arts Center. It's going to be inside, but it's not in the actual amphitheater, or not amphitheater, it's a whatever theater, whatever you call it, Performing Arts Theater. They're in the outskirts of it. And they'll be there on Friday and Saturday, I believe. Might be Thursday and Friday. I will post that. The schedule of events is just about finished, and the newspaper has promised that we will have a pullout the day before the horse and carriage parade. So it'll have that whole week with the different things that are going on, and that'll be nice too. So we're gearing up for the West Virginia Strawberry Festival. Again, what's our theme?
Old traditions, new beginnings.
Old traditions, new beginnings, and of course our theme every year is an exciting family tradition, because all the events planned for the festival are for the entire family. All ages, from the little tots who do the diaper derby,
Yes.
to the seniors who select their own king and queen, which is called the Lord and Lady. They'll be riding in the parade. They have the seniors have a strawberry capping contest. Those ladies know how to cap strawberries, and they do it very quickly. That will be at the senior center, and then we have a domino and checker tournament there. So senior things going on. And then at the courthouse on Thursday morning is the diaper derby at 10, I believe, and 10:30 is the strawberry blonde. Those are for little ones. Now for older ones, we have a best legs contest.
Yes.
That's just for the men though, and that's on Friday after the parade. And we also have a strawberry pie eating contest. So that would be any age can come and sign up for that. So, strawberry blonde, we have that for adults as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just something going on all the time for everybody, and there's nothing more exciting than to go to the Party Ground and see a group of people at one end of town, and then you walk the street down to the other end of town, and they're down there too. So
Yeah.
It's a homecoming for a lot of folks, a time to visit friends. So we're here to try to make sure that we have a good festival for everybody. It's done with 21 board members,
Which is amazing. Non-paid board members, yeah.
and 5 associates, and many, many volunteers. And if you would like to volunteer, give us a phone call, 304-472-9036. Tell us what event that you'd like to help with, and we'll put you to work. Everything from float decorating to just manning the street or running errands,
Yeah.
answering the phone. So there's all kinds of things that you could help us with if you wish to do so. The most important thing is, though, for you to come to all the events. Bring your family to have a good, exciting family tradition at the 73rd West Virginia Strawberry Festival. We could not do it without your attendance. We could not do it without the sponsors who help us. We also take in-kind sponsors. If you have maybe something that you can let us have that we need, there's no money transacted, but that's a way to help also. Mm-hmm. So anything I've missed so far or you've missed that you want to bring up?
I think that's it.
Tammy's a little shy, and I don't know why she thinks she is, because she does such a good job at our chamber office and takes care of that very nicely. So we want you to come to the Strawberry Festival. We thank Tenerton Auto for sponsoring this Strawberry Patch. We'll be back next week, I think, to talk a little more about the Strawberry Idol. And then the following week, Gary Cannell will be here to talk about the Midway, which is new, some of the setups for the carnival, and this new food court. It's going to be fantastic, so I think you'll enjoy all of that. And all this free entertainment. They don't have to pay for it. They just you might have to pay for your food, but you get to listen to all these good groups that are coming in. So we hope to see you at the 73rd West Virginia Strawberry Festival, May the 10th through May the 18th, finishing with the Gospel Sing at Wesley. We'll talk about that next week. I just want to thank you, Tammy, for coming and sharing, and good luck with your arts and crafts. I think
Thank
you're
you.
really in good shape with that, but you do still have a few openings.
We do still have a few openings, and you can get that form online.
Okay, that's one online as well.
Yes.
Okay, or if you have questions, you can call her. Where can someone call you?
They can the number is actually online, or you can call the festival office and they'll get a message to me.
Okay. So, we're here to serve you. We're here to bring something neat to one of the top 3 coolest small towns in the country. That's a pretty good honor,
is.
So we'll see you next week at the Strawberry Patch. And thank you again, Tennerton, for bringing this available to us. So we'll see you next week. Have a nice evening.